What I wanted to do for today's baking demo is some gingerbread men, or persons as they now have to be called to be gender neutral. People, ginger people, gingerbread people. Not ginger people, that's my sister. Gingerbread men is a really easy one-pot recipe that you can do in one afternoon or even with little ones as well. It uses golden syrup as one of two sweeteners. There's also brown sugar in there. Any spices, as long as you're also including ginger, obviously. Cinnamon, you can even put cloves or star anise in, and some orange zest, and butter and plain flour. You also need a bit of bicarbonate of soda so they puff up quite nicely, because you want fluffy, chunky gingerbread men. You'll need a heavy based bottomed pan. Into it you're going to add 75 grams of soft brown sugar. I weighed it out earlier, so I don't need to do any of that now. And then adding in your spices as well, all in teaspoons, tablespoons, what is that? Add into it your tablespoon of ginger, ground obviously, cinnamon obviously, and as I said before, you can add in other spices if you want to. I quite like putting in rose water sometimes, although the ginger does overpower it somewhat. And then grated zest of half an orange. Done. And your golden syrup, 3 tablespoons. We're going to take this over to the hob now and bring it to the boil. Cut away. So bring the pan onto the hob, turn it onto about a medium-high heat, add in a tablespoon of water, and just let it come to a simmer. Should be a consistency of melted chocolate. This might take about 3 or 4 minutes. Bring it back into the prep area. The mixture should smell like elves' tears and Santa's bubble bath. Then you're going to add in 95 grams of butter broken up into blocks and stir that all through until it melts. Don't leave the mixture too long in between now and putting in these extra ingredients, as you don't want all the sugary goodness to set. I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda with that butter and keep stirring until all the butter is melted. Once all your butter is melted in, tip in 225 grams of plain flour gradually until it forms quite a thick dough. You're going to leave this to set for about 30 minutes anyway. Cover with cling film and leave somewhere to set for about 30 minutes. I'm going to have a cup of tea. "30 minutes later, your dough should be set and a little bit hard to press. You want to get yourself a rolling space, not porous like this wooden table, so maybe on a countertop, or I've laid down some greaseproof paper. Dust it with a little bit of gluten-free, either plain flour or rice flour. Works really well. Just make it all pliable like dough and slap it down like a good bit of prime meat. Cover over with another piece of greaseproof paper and a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. And you can begin rolling. If, like me, you have forgotten your rolling pin, you can always just use cling film. And start rolling out to about 5 millimeters thick. Ah. Okay, get your little gingerbread person and start cutting out. This should make you anywhere between about 10 gingerbread men to 12, but I haven't rolled it too thin. I like them chunky. Take away the scraps. You know how to do this. You all went to school, right? Or played with Play-Doh. And gingerbread men ready to go in. Bake in the oven at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes. After about 10 to 15 minutes, you want to take your gingerbread men people out of the oven. Look how puffy they are. that was gingerbread men. It's taken about 45 minutes. You can ice them if you want to, or stick gumdrop buttons on top of them, or just eat them. That's gone everywhere, all down my top.